Greetings, human life forms. I'm the Meister. Welcome back to another prediction video. Today we'll be doing the Seattle Seahawks. Real quick before we get started, I have done prediction videos for over half of these teams. I'll continue to do a prediction video for the rest of these teams, playoff prediction video, and a Super Bowl prediction video, all before the season begins. It probably will not go into preseason, but if it does, I mean, I'm not predicting the preseason, so if anything, that'd help me in my predictions because I see how players play. But yeah, I'll do the rest of these teams. I might even do a fan-made prediction video as well that you guys voted over on my Twitter. Link is in the description for that. The site that I am using, because I forget to mention it some videos, is called playoffpredictors.com. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to make these predictions yourselves in an easier way and format and everything. So here we go. Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks have an amazing offense. I've said that in previous videos. They have, well, their offense can even be better if their offensive line can be better than they were last year. If their offensive line can just play average and not below average, that might really help the Seahawks here. But if not, or if just someone steps up, if just a single offensive lineman can step up on that Eagles team, then offense is going to be a lot better. With especially with Chris Carson running the football there, because we know how good Chris Carson can be in a good offensive line. Will certainly help his production there, and of course Russell Wilson throwing the football. Throwing the ball on time and stuff. If he can do that, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are going to get a lot of receptions and a lot of yards. So that's a pretty scary offense there. Defensively, gets pretty concerning. You have Jamal Adams. We know how good he can be. But that's really the only big name on that defense. Everyone else just kind of fighting for their jobs on that team. So, starting off week 1 at Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Colts have a really solid defense. They had a pretty solid one last year. I don't expect it to be any different this year unless, of course, injuries happen. Xavier Rhodes at cornerback, he could still make some plays here and there. Darius Leonard, we already know how good of a player he is. So overall, just a really solid defense there for the Colts. Offensively is where it gets a little possibly concerning. Their running game is a really good one of the best running games in the league. They have really good running backs, Marlon Mack, Jonathan Taylor, Hines, all really good running backs there. But it kind of all circles around Carson Wentz and how good he can play. If he can play just not as bad as he played last year, it'll probably be a similar season to last year with Phillip Rivers. But if Carson Wentz can get back to that level that he played with Frank Reich in Philly, Colts are going to go up like this in the power rankings. So we'll see how good Carson Wentz plays this year. But I'm going to go Seahawks here, week 1. Just first game for Carson Wentz in a Colt uniform. Still learning the playbook, still getting timing on routes done and everything, so I'm going to go with the Seahawks here, week 1. Week 2, hosting Tennessee to take on the Titans. I will definitely be surprised if they do not have one of the best offenses in the league next year. Derrick Henry, arguably the best running back in the entire league. They have the really good A.J. Brown, Julio Jones wide receiver duo, which is really going to elevate the play of Ryan Tannehill, from former Pro Bowl quarterback. So this is a really good offense. This is going to be a really high-scoring game here. I'll be surprised if it's not. Defensively for the Titans, that's where it gets a little concerning, which is kind of a factor why I'm going to lean toward the Seahawks here. But the Seahawks are also the home team, and both defenses are pretty terrible. So I'm going to go Seahawks here, mainly just because they're at home. Home field advantage, one of the best fan bases in the entire league. So week 3 at Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Vikings can have a really solid defense this year. if they don't get injured this season, because they had a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball last year. which of course made their play worse on the defensive side. So with guys coming back, getting healthy, that should be a better defense than it was a year ago. Offensively, they were pretty good last year. Kirk Cousins slinging the ball to guys like Adam Thielen. And of course, the young rookie superstar, no longer rookie, and Justin Jefferson. He was really good for the Vikings last year. And of course, Dalvin Cook. We already know how good he is. Whew, this is a tough game here. This is a tough game for me. Oh, man. I kind of feel like it would be the better option to go Vikings here, but my gut is telling me to go Seahawks. So I'm going to go Seahawks. I'm going to go with my gut on this one. I'm going to go Seahawks. That game can go either way. Like, I think the Vikings can easily win this game as well, but I'm going to go Seahawks here. Week 4 at San Francisco to take on the 49ers. 49ers have a pretty solid defense. Again, I'm one of those teams that got very injured on both sides of the ball for this team, which is why they weren't Super Bowl contenders last year. They were average. So hopefully that was due to injury and not because of lack of production and play. But that defense should still be pretty solid. They did lose a couple guys. They also lost their defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh. See, that could be a factor as well. Offensively, Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance, who the heck knows at this point. Pretty sure Jimmy Garoppolo will be the starter, at least for week 1. If he tears his ACL again, then Trey Lance will probably be the starter, obviously. But, yeah, it's safe to assume Jimmy Garoppolo will be starter this season. So I'm going to go 49ers here. I'm going to go 49ers for their first matchup together. Week 5, hosting the Los Angeles Rams on Thursday Night Football. Rams, one of the best defenses in the league. They still lost a couple guys like John Johnson, the big one, to the Browns. But that should still be a really good defense. They also lost their defensive coordinator, but their defensive coordinator wasn't as good as Robert Saleh because Rams were in and out with defensive coordinators the past couple of years, and they were still very high, like a really good defense. Offensively, instead of Jared Goff, they have Matthew Stafford, which that might make him I think, in my opinion, that makes him a Super Bowl contending team right there. So with that being said, I'm going to go Rams. I just think that the Rams are the better team here. So, yeah, I'm going to go Rams. Week 6 at Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Steelers are a very interesting team. I have not done their prediction video yet. But defensively for the Steelers, they were pretty solid the first half of the season, and they kind of just fell apart the second half of the season. I don't know what happened. They did also lose a couple guys in defense too, which could hurt them a little bit. One of the bigger names, Bud Dupree to the Titans, but that's a pretty big loss there. Offensively, though, for the Steelers, I still have Ben Roethlisberger at QB, so we'll see what goes on there. Of course, wide receivers, guys like Juju Smith-Schuster and Deontay Johnson, forgot his name. And running game, too, that's very interesting. Najee Harris, running back. We'll see what he does. I don't know how big of a factor. I heard he's going to get a lot of carries for the season, but he's only a rookie, so we'll see. Oh my god, this is another tough game. I don't know who to go with here. My god, this is actually... I might have to circle back to this game. That's a really tough game. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go Seahawks. Just because I feel like that's a safer choice there. Yeah, I'm going to go Seahawks. My god. Week 7, hosting the New Orleans Saints. Saints coming off their bye week. Saints have another solid defense. They still got guys over there. They got Marshawn Lattimore and, of course, Cam Jordan, the two big names on that defense. But overall, it's a really solid defense. Obviously, those aren't the only two guys on there, but there's a lot of names over there. They all work really well together. Offensively, no longer have Drew Brees. You have Jameis Winston, so that could either be a good thing or a bad thing, because Drew Brees' arm kind of fell off last season. But Jameis Winston, he has an arm, and that arm has seizures a lot. Whether he slings it to his own team for 500-yard, 4-touchdown game, or if he does like a 600-yard, 10-interception game. So we'll see there. But Saints coming off their bye week. I think I'm going to go Saints here, week 7. Week 8, hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars coming off their bye week. Jaguars could definitely be a sneaky team this year. There have been a few sources talking about how sneaky of a team the Jaguars can be this year. At cornerback, obviously they got Shaquille Griffin. That's a revenge game for him, leaving the Seahawks. They still got Miles Jack there. He's a big help there. Offensively, they drafted Trevor Lawrence, so we'll see how he plays in his rookie season. James Robinson, 1,000-yard rusher. I mean, it could be a sneaky game, maybe. Probably not. I'm gonna go Seahawks there. 5-3 going into the bye week, so kind of in the mix still. Week 10 at Green Bay to take on the Packers. Packers could have Aaron Rodgers, could have a trash can, who knows. If Aaron Rodgers is in this game, they'll probably win this game. And I kind of feel like it's dumb. Well, it's not a dumb thing to predict where Aaron Rodgers will play, but the safe choice is to assume that he's going to be a Green Bay Packer this season. So if you have Aaron Rodgers, then you will also have Devontae Adams, one of the best wide receivers in the entire game. Aaron Jones at running back, he's very solid at running back. Robert Tonyan, really good tight end. Defensively, is really good. Could be one of the best in the league next year if they want to try that hard. But I'm gonna go Packers here. Packers have a lot of talent, a lot of potential to make a run at Super Bowl, and I'm going to go, if they have Aaron Rodgers. If they have Jordan Love, forget that. Just be lucky to make the playoffs at that point. But I'm going to go Packers here with Aaron Rodgers. So week 11, hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals, defensively, they got J.J. Watt from the Texans, big name there. Pairing him up with Chandler Jones, could be a scary edge rushing duo there. They also picked up Malcolm Butler from the Titans at cornerback. But they did lose Patrick Peterson, so it's kind of a lose. Like you take something off a weight, but then you put it back on, then it's back at the same level. That's kind of their situation there. Could be a bit better, could be a bit worse. Who knows? We'll see. But offensively could be really good this season if Kyler Murray slinging the ball to guys like A.J. Green and DeAndre Hopkins and James Conner at running back, though I heard he might not even be the starting running back there. So who knows when James Conner fell off. God knows when he fell off. But yeah, he seems to be struggling. But I'm gonna go Seahawks here. I'm going to go Seahawks here in their first matchup together. Week 12 at Washington to take on a football team on Monday Night Football. Washington on offense could be really scary good. People are underrating Ryan Fitzpatrick so much. I don't know why. They're just underrating him so much, in my opinion. Running back, Antonio Gibson. He was pretty solid for them last year. They're looking for him to take another step this year. At wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel. Really good duo there. And Adam Humphries, too. Not many people talk about him, but he could be good for them in the slot this year. Defensively, can easily be one of the best in the league this year, just like last year. But we'll see for that. But Monday Night Football. Dan Snyder. I'm gonna go Seahawks here. I'm gonna go Seahawks. Dan Snyder definitely had nothing to do with my decision making there. But just with how he runs an organization, I don't see them winning on primetime against a team like the Seahawks. So moving on to Week 13, hosting the San Francisco 49ers. This time around, I think the Seahawks will get their revenge on San Francisco and get a win there to improve to 8-4 in the season. Going to Houston the very next week to take on the Texans. That probably will not have Deshaun Watson on their team. Will probably have Tyrod Taylor on there instead. But regardless of who's playing quarterback, I am going to easily pick the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. Don't know why I just keep highlighting. Week 15 now at Los Angeles to take on the Rams. I don't think the Seahawks are capable of splitting here. I think I'm going to give this to the Rams again. Yeah, I'm going to give this to the Rams. I think the Rams are going to sweep the series with Seattle there. Week 16 hosting the Chicago Bears. Bears have a really solid defense. Obviously, they still got Khalil Mack, an absolute beast over there on that D-line. They also have some guys like Eddie Jackson over there as well. My dog is punching the door right now. Offensively for the Bears, Andy Dalton or Justin Fields, that's the question. It's a big question. I don't even want to think about that. That just gives me a headache. But Allen Robinson, a wide receiver, obviously. We already know how good he is. They also got Marquise Goodwin, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Marquise Goodwin from the San Francisco 49ers. So he can be a help there as well. You know, I'm gonna go the upset here. I'm gonna go Bears. I'm gonna go Bears for the upset. What the heck is this? What? Oh, you guys can't even see that. There's a big brick just formed in the right side of my screen here. Week 17, hosting the Detroit Lions. I don't feel like talking about them. Not Ty. Seahawks will win that game. Do not want to talk about the Lions. Week 18 to wrap up the season at Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Think I'm gonna go the split here. I'm gonna go Cardinals there to wrap up the season 10-7. So potential playoffs, potentially not. All I know is that Pete Carroll definitely has to make a move at some point. It's that offensive line that really brings down their record a bit. If they had a good offensive line, they'd probably have like 3 more wins in here. They probably would beat the Bears. Who else would they probably beat? They might beat the Rams maybe once, probably, because that's what kills the Seahawks is the Rams' insane pass rush. But 10-7 for the Seahawks. Next time I make a video, it'll probably be next week. Don't know. Oh, and I'll probably do the Rams next game, or next time. So, if you are interested in watching that, I'd recommend subscribing and liking the video if you also enjoyed it, and of course ringing the bell so you do not miss when I upload the next prediction video. I also stream on Twitch at around 7:30 when I do stream. So if you want to check that out, link is in the description below. So with that, I don't have much else to say except Life Forms out.